Hey guys, it's May and my dog Trixie. You may hear her every now and then. Can't do anything about that because she's just running around today. If you saw my haul video on Monday, you know that the folks at Springs Creative sent me this burlap, this laminated printable burlap to use. And I'm doing a giveaway, and if you've missed that, I'll link that video below, but be sure to go and get entered because I'm giving away 2 packs, one to 2 different subscribers. And I thought I would show you a couple of different ways to use it because when I was on vacation this last week, I saw some really cool burlap stuff and I wanted to try it. So I thought this is a good way to do it. So let me show you what I've tried recently. So here's another cool thing I like about it. I can just cut it up just like scrap paper and use it any way I want to. What I did was I cut a piece away just in a size that, you know, I wanted for my ornament, that I'm going to be making an ornament. And I have some of this embroidery floss that I picked up at a yard sale one time. Like this whole kit, this lady sold me for $1. You would not believe all the embroidery floss I got. And I've just kind of been holding on to it thinking I'll use it for something. And I'm not a cross stitcher. But when I was in the mountains and I was at some of those cute little Christmas stores, I saw where they were taking the burlap and they were cross stitching in it. And it was so cute. So I want to show you what I did. First, I just took something to write with. You can take a pencil or just something you can see. Now I'm going to use a pencil, which means you might not can see it on the screen. But this is what I did. I just kind of drew myself some lines showing me where I want to go and making a word. Now the word I did was believe. And again, you may not can see this, and I'll bring it up to the camera. And this is really just a rough drawing for you to be able to see kind of where you're going to be stitching. The cool thing is, if any of you do cross stitch or counted cross stitch, the cool thing is you can actually use these spaces in the burlap to kind of help you space things out. Let me bring this up. Well, you can kind of see that. Yeah. So believe. And then what I did was I took an entire thickness of the embroidery floss and I embroidered it. Now it's white, so it is a little harder to see, but you can see there that I embroidered it. And I really, really love how that turned out. It's just so rough and rugged. And like I said, this is not some special stitch because I don't know any special stitches. I just did every 2 spots, every 2 squares on the burlap, I did a stitch, is how I did it. So very rough and very rugged, and I like that. Now then, I'm going to take my trimmer now that I've done it. And I've shown you before, and I want to tell you because I've learned something new. Because I now have a rotary cutter, I would not use the rotary cutter on this product to get the fray, because I'm afraid that rotary cutter would cut straight through it first time and I wouldn't get the fray. So with my little razor blade cutter that I can, you know, put light pressure on, this will work. So I'm going to turn this over and pick where I want my fray to be, and I'm just going to lightly cut through this one thickness, and that will allow me to fray the product and give myself some really cute frayed edges just by pulling the lamination away. Okay, then I'm going to do the same here. Just pick where I want my fray to start, about right there. And I'm just cutting through the laminated part of the burlap. It's so cute how it just frays. I love it. And make sure you're doing it on the laminated side, not on the top side. Because you're just, once you get this product in your hand, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's kind of a lamination on the back of it. Hence, you know, laminated burlap. You start down here. I think I got a better cut. There we go. And one more on the bottom. If you have a rotary cutter, I'm afraid it will go straight through it. So if you have an old paper cutter or something sitting around, you'll want to use that. I know it looks like I'm tearing it up, but I'm not. I promise I'm fraying it. And if you get pieces like that are just kind of out there, just trim them. Give it a haircut. Or pull it, whichever way works. So you can see that I have the frayed edges. Now, if that's too long for you, if you want to adjust it, go ahead and just trim it. Just give it a little haircut. But let me show you what basically we're doing. Basically, we're cutting away this laminated portion and pulling off what's stuck to it. And that's what gives you a good fray. I love this stuff. And I want to tell you that I'm not sponsored by Springs Creative, I promise. I just love this product, and I'm so into burlap this year. And they did send me the 2 packages so I could do a giveaway for you guys. But other than that, I'm just playing and having a good time with this stuff. Now, I think this is a little too long on the bottom. I want it to match the top a little better, so I'm going to trim away here. I think that looks much better, and a little trim on the side to match it up. But you don't have to do this. And I want to show you, I feel like I cut too deep right here in this section with my trimmer and I lost some of the fray, but it's okay. I can put a decoration there or something like that. All right, so I'm going to set this aside because I've got it ready to go. And I had some chipboard left over from something. I don't even know what. It's just a pretty good thick piece of chipboard. It's a heavyweight chipboard. And some paper. This is a little red glittery polka dot paper. And I'm going to glue this down to this. And I'm going to go ahead and use a wet glue. This is an ornament, and I'm going to want it to last for a good long time. And I feel like when you're going to do that, you're going to want to use something that'll hold up, you know. I have this piece of scrap paper I'm going to put behind it here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a wet wipe handy because I don't like glue on my finger, but I'm going to use my finger for this portion. And I'm going to spread this glue because I want it to get all the way to the edges. And it's important that you do this portion because if you don't, it's going to lift up on the edges. Also, it keeps you from getting those little lumps and bumps in your paper. And this needs a little more glue. Right here. Then you just want to smash that down good. If you have a brayer, you might want to run over it. And here's the trick. By using that one finger, we just have to clean one. Of course, I got it on more than that because I'm worse than the average glue Joe. If you don't have a brayer, use your bone folder and squish it down. See that little bit come out? Make sure you clean your bone folder. I'm going to take my crocodile, and in the corners, I'm going to put some holes just right in the corners on 2 sides. And I want to ink the edges just to add some more rough and rugged look. Okay, now the other thing I want to do, I used white because I don't have a beige, so here's what I'm going to do to try to make this look a little beiger. I'm going to take what's left on my ink blending tool and just kind of tap to kind of knock some of that white down. I don't want to turn it a totally different color. I just want to kind of knock it back a little bit. And then, using my scrap paper, I'm going to darken these frayed edges as well. I think it's these kind of touches that make things look so professional because it's the coloring and the shadowing that really give projects the depth, you know. So if you have these kind of products, do it. If not, you could use, you know, acrylic paint on your finger, just watered down and just kind of rub it around or whatever. But I think that really will make a difference when it's all put together. All right, and I think we're ready to adhere these together like so. And what I'm going to do is use a lot of wet glue. Look how fat, because I don't know what I'm doing. Look at the back of this. I bet if you know how to sew, you won't have that issue. I was just really messy. And I was sitting in front of the TV doing it, and I was like, this is probably not supposed to be like this. Somebody else would be able to do this much better. And I'm not letting my wet glue go to the edge because I want my fray to stay free. You know, I want to have a free edge there. I'm going to put this in place. Now where the laminate is on the burlap, the glue won't come through. where my stitching poked holes, I can feel it kind of coming through. And that's okay, because it's just going to help hold my stitching in place. So now then, we can let that sit aside and dry for a minute. Now you're also going to need some wire or pipe cleaner or any kind of thing of your choice to be the attachment for the tree. I'm going to choose this wire. This is an 18 gauge wire. So it's easy to cut, easy to bend, easy to play with. I'm going to cut myself a piece off. Just about, let me see how long this piece is. It's about 15 inches. Now you may not have, you know, jewelry tools or whatever. I do have some, but I'm going to do this to show you a way to do this without jewelry tools. This is just an embossing pen, and it will help me get a good curl like so that I can get a cute little spirally piece and not have to use anything special. So there is that cute little thing. And then I'm going to take my finger and just kind of run it down the wire, not too hard or fast because you can burn yourself on this wire, but just to give it a friendly bend. See that bend instead of being so harsh? I like that bend. Now the next thing I did was I went into my little bead collection, my bead stash, and I grabbed out some green, white, and red beads. And I'm just going to string them on here, just a few of them. Just like one of each color. And come down here to my spiral, and I'm just going to move them in, just weaving them in there. Doesn't matter, remember we're going for rugged. I don't know, I just like the rugged look lately. I don't like the perfect look. Then I'm going to put that bead on the second, and then I'm going to let this one hang at the bottom. So we have some little beads up in our wire. And just play with it till your beads are held in place. A little bit of movement's good. So now we're going to bring this guy back in, and I'm going to feed this in from the front, and I'll show you why. I'm going to put the wire into the front and bring this around because I want that piece to hang to the front and not to the back, and we'll mess with that again in a minute. So now we're going to feed this side in through the back. Now play with this side, get this one where you want it, decide how much loop you need for your tree, whatever you're going to need. That looks good to me, maybe a little shorter. And now we can start twirling again. Now, if you feel like you can do it with your fingers, just do that, or go back to your pen. So once you have all your little beads in and everything, I went ahead and tied myself 2 little bows out of some green stripe ribbon, and I'm going to glue them right over the holes. And it'll do a couple things. One, it will help reinforce your holes, which is always good because you want this to last some time. This one already has a glue on it sitting here. And also, it's cute. We always lean toward cute. So there you go. That's one way to use your burlap. I'm going to let this sit because those are going to have to dry a good while because, again, I used wet glue. And then you just hang it on your tree, and it's just fun and festive. So you'll be able to see it close up in pictures. Let me see if I can zoom in. So there you go. It's a cute little ornament done with burlap, and it has the little stitching in it. It's got some cute little country-looking bows, and it's just cute. And I saw these all over Gatlinburg, guys, for like $8 for these ornaments, and you can make these so cheap. So go out there and get yourself some burlap. It does not have to be the laminated burlap. Any burlap will do, because as long as it's got a pretty tight weave to it. And if you do cross stitching, just use some cross stitching material. I don't know what that is. If you guys know, put it in the comments so everybody knows what that is. But anyway, there's our next project in the Holly Jolly Christmas series. Don't forget to click below to see the giveaway that we're doing with the laminated burlap, and I will see you on Friday. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Okay, so a little bonus footage for you. I've had a couple people ask me if you can stamp on the laminated burlap. Let's check it out. I don't know. Haven't tried it. We're going to try it together. So I have some Stays On ink. I feel like that's a good hardy ink for this. And I have a pretty solid image we're going to stamp. It's a Close to My Heart ornament stamp. I'm going to put it on my block here. I'm going to ink it up. Now, I don't usually have good luck with solid image stamps anyway, so I probably picked a bad one to try with, but we're going to see. I thought if I could make this one work, anything will work. So let's just see together. Now I'm probably going to press it down and hold it for a minute because it is fabric, and I'm going to let that ink sink in a little bit. And then reveal. There you go. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think it does. They also have these this product is back in stock at walmart.com. I'll put the link below in the description. There you go. So I thought it might be helpful to show you if a fine line stamp works, and it does. That's a fine line stamp. This is a piece I was stitching on. This is a fine line stamp, and I'll show you what the stamp looks like. It's this little M, and it's one of those acrylic ones that are real floppy, but look how good that looks. We'll have to use this for something too, right? Okay, guys, little bonus footage. You can stamp on it. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.